you can automate anything, but you cannot automate trust. You need to build it.
Convergence is actually where we are bringing the human intelligence and machine intelligence to somehow combine into one world. And I truly feel the first thing that is going to change is not a system architecture, it's the leadership architecture.
Hello, everyone. Today we are into the another episode of Digital Tunes, which is leadership in the era of convergence. This is such a very, very important topic, where we have spent decades about talking about digital transformation. And the time is now, where it's not just technology which is evolving, but it's us. And once upon a time, there was, we all know that CIOs used to be, or that function used to be called as, keeping lights on. But now it's all about showing the light and the way forward. Okay. And when AI starts thinking, or the data starts deciding, and the machine starts learning, and this is the time which is more important, where technology, trust, and everything collide.
Absolutely.
So to discuss about this interesting topic, I have Srinik Jain, CIO of Siemens Middle East, joining me today here in this podcast. Welcome, Srinik.
Thank you so much for having me here. I'm really looking forward to this, I would say, a very insightful conversation. I'm trying to see how your thoughts are. I'm very happy to share some of my views.
Great. So without much ado, I think, we'll jump into the segments, So today we have split this conversation into 6 or 7 segments.
Okay.
Very simple, general topics, just for the audience to understand. It all starts with the convergence. Okay. As the headline says, leadership in the era of convergence. So we'll talk about the convergence moment. Okay. So, Srinik, when you look at the technology and the trust and the AI starts colliding, what changes do you see first? The systems or the soul of leadership?
Interesting that you put this in such a way. When I sometimes think about technological transformation, digitization, I think that's been happening for quite some time now, right? It's been years since we've been talking about technological transformation, change in system landscape. But convergence hits differently. Convergence is actually where, we are bringing the human intelligence and machine intelligence to somehow combine into one world. And I truly feel the first thing that is going to change is not a system architecture. It's the leadership architecture. So the soul of leadership. Because everything else will come as a byproduct of it.
So I think, you touched upon a very, very important aspect, which is the human. And, I think we talk about multiple synergies, between humans and the machines.
Yeah.
And it's high time that we should be talking about the human quotient as well. And the CIO seats today, especially is about credibility and courage. And how do you think that leadership has evolved for you?
Actually, the meaning of technology leadership is completely changing, Jay. Back in the day, the technology leader or the CIO was actually a lot about what do you know, right? The benchmark of a great CIO is who knows all the technologies, right? But today it's different. It's not about the one who is able to know it all, but the one who is able to share it all. So I think, this aspect of credibility is actually changing to courage. Yeah. And, it's about transformation, which is not only about changing systems. It's about transformation that impacts human. How do you ensure that the human part of it is well managed? How do we ensure changes that are happening in a way that people are involved, people are informed? And I think that is the biggest role that has, that has sort of tweaked over the years. And I think it'll continue like this. This journey has just started and it'll continue to be like that.
Brilliant. I think you again emphasized on a very, very important point, which is the courage. I think leadership is all about courage. I think when we look at any of the leadership, be it tech leadership or be it any leadership within the industries or within the nation or within the geographies, when we look at it, it's all about speaking courageously, bringing those topics courageously, driving any changes courageously,
Taking difficult decisions. That's all about courage.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think that's something which is going to be very, very critical for any leader going forward, because as I said in my intro, when AI starts deciding,
Yep.
when the models or the LLMs start thinking
Yep.
more than us, the courage and those trust is something which is going to drive a lot of things.
That is so true, right? I mean, they will all be at the centerpiece, right? AI is already at the decision table. So how do you make sure that it's not seen as the one who is making decisions, but you actually bring in a human element? Because what AI can do great is it can actually do great computation.
Yeah.
But what humans do great is they are great at caring.
Exactly.
And the aspect of empathy. So when we blend those things together, that is where the right decisions are to come in.
Yeah. So moving on, the next segment is all about trust. And this is another important aspect, especially with the leadership. How do you see earlier days, trust always used to be a byproduct of any system. And now it's the system itself.
Yes.
How do you engineer this trust at your workplace?
You know what? I would say that that trust is hugely culture, right? And trust cannot be, in fact, one of those things that is added as a bolt at the end when the entire system is created. So trust has to be very integrated into the DNA itself. And that's exactly what we do, right? So every time we are talking about an AI solution, a data funnel, a digital twin, whenever we are only always asking to filter those topics with 3 categories. Is it consistent? Is it transparent? And is it creating more confidence, or is it creating more confusion? It has to always pass through these 3 filters to be implemented. And trust, as I was saying, right? Trust is a base of relationship, right? Systems can be evolved over and over and over again, and I think you've been through that journey where you've seen systems changing.
Yep.
I've been through that journey where systems keep evolving, but the trust is that one aspect which sort of stays. So what I feel is that while AI itself is running really at an emerging speed, right? It's changing, it's evolving fast.
True.
The aspect of trust is not computational. It's actually based on relationships. And we can automate all the processes. We can automate all the challenges that we are currently facing. What we cannot automate is the relationship aspect. So that's why I would really emphasize on trust, especially for our leaders.
Yeah. I think I always believe, Srinik, I mean, again, very well articulated. What I think is in these days, especially with the proliferation of AI, and machines take over quite a lot of stuff. As you rightly said, we have all seen it evolving. But what I personally feel is trust is more like an oxygen right now.
Yep.
It's invisible when it is not there, or it's it's not seen, but it's deadly if it is not there.
That's true.
So I think that's where the whole game lies. So again, going back into our earlier point of leading with courage and building that trust, driving it across your enterprise becomes very, very important. Great. Moving on, when the next one is about when innovation. We all know that a CIO's role is to innovate and we keep innovating continuously, and this is something which never ends in any organization, in any enterprise. When innovation outruns governance, what anchors your decisions?
Oh, isn't this the pain point for every technology leader?
It is.
Right. I would say one thing, and that is technology is always moving faster than what is ethical, right? And this is one of those things that you have to somehow find the right balance. One of the things that I've noticed very often with my technology peers is that we are sort of almost excited about technology so much that if we don't implement it, we feel like we've been pulled back. One of the things that is very important in my mind, which sort of puts me back to the anchor, is even if it's probable, but is it right? So I would slow down right now to be on the right forum than to fail. Because I go back to the aspect of the fact that trust, once broken, cannot be rebuilt so easily. So when it comes to the pace of technology versus anything which is more ethical, right, I would probably put right over technology.
Brilliantly said. I think you can automate any processes in your organization, but you cannot automate trust.
100%.
You just need to build it.
Yes. And it takes years.
Exactly.
It takes years to build trust. It takes no time
to break.
to break it.
Very well said. Thank you. So moving on, now we have, we need to talk about AI.
Okay.
Let's
talk about AI.
We all talked about AI without talking about it.
That's true.
So my next segment, what we wanted to touch upon is intelligence, intuition, and AI.
Okay.
So it's about the behavior, which from a leadership angle, which we need to embody ourselves. So my question is, AI is changing how leaders make sense of reality. How do you decide what to trust, whether it's your data or your models or your instincts? What do you think?
Data, models, or instincts. I wouldn't even put them as three separate things which are, not a part of the same frame. Let's actually look them as a part of a painting, right? As an artwork, where data is the canvas, right? The models can be the brush strokes, but it's the instinct, the human instinct, which knows what you have to make it look like. So I would just put them all together as complementing each other. And I think that's exactly how it will work out best. However, when it has to come to the final call, I will trust my instinct and my gut, always.
Very good. Very good. I think the best leaders don't fear AI. They actually frame it.
That's true.
Very well said. Moving on, when we think about responsibility piece of it, we all talk about ethical AI and, the AI related bias and things like that.
Yeah.
Responsibility lives in culture, not code.
That is extremely correct.
How do you embed ethical decision making in your daily processes or daily routine, daily works?
So ethical decision making is really, is not something that we leave on the side. We actually bring it really on the table as the first thing for every decision that's taken. So we don't look at anything which is the area of AI, machines, as just a process. Let's look into what's behind it. What's behind it is actually the humans which are going to get impacted. There are aspects of how we really take the right decisions. Let's make sure that whatever that we are doing is really making sense from a long term. And only those long-term solutions will be deemed as sustainable. So that's how I look at it. It's not a short-term win. When it comes to a long-term story, it really has to be a solution which is not just right, which is not just technologically right, but humanly right.
Great. I think as CIOs, as tech leaders,
Yeah.
we are all, built a lot of dashboards. We have been living with dashboards, but it's all about dashboards can tell you, a lot of stories, but at the same time, your instincts will be able to tell you much more than that.
That is true, right? Those dashboards, when we, that is the beauty of data.
Yeah.
When the data keeps multiplying, we forget that data has a person behind,
Exactly.
right? So we look at that dashboard and we completely forget that there is a role behind that dashboard. There is a role behind that KPI.
Yeah.
Somebody was working late night, right? Some solution wasn't working right.
Yeah.
So there are so many aspects that sometimes AI will just give you that really nice computational
Yeah.
theoretical solution. But this is where leaders will probably have to put it together, be not scared to take a hard decision and say, this is all great, but my instinct says
Exactly.
it has to be different.
Yeah. Yeah. As machines get smarter, our humanity matters more. Which part of leadership remain beautifully human, Srinik?
Ah, I think our curiosity, our curiosity to engage, to learn, our empathy, to build relationships, and the human inside us who wants to just engage everything and take the right decision, even when it's sometimes not easy. I think that is just stubborn, beautifully the most human thing, and it has to stay in our leadership style.
Okay. I think intuition is always defined or fine-tuned by an algorithm, but your experience says it all. I think, there is no other way to explain more than this. I mean, with the kind of work that we all have done within these many years, whatever systems and LLMs that comes in, it's going to be our experience and the instinct that will drive.
That is so true.
And the connection what we built with a human is going to take or help us in taking the right decision.
That is very wonderfully said, Jay, because that experience element of a leader, right, that will make a huge change in what will be the final outcome.
Yeah, great. So Srinik, transformations looks glamorous on a PowerPoint,
Yes,
but messy in reality.
that's true.
What's a leadership lesson you have learned from that kind of a mess?
Oh, everything which is a great transformation has always had the best looking slide decks. Yeah. It's just that whenever it's the dirtiest in real life, it's the prettiest on the slides. But one of the things that I've noticed is that change management is a huge part of a leadership, right? And when I say that, there is something that I've noticed, and it's not today, it's not in the last 10 years, it's been forever. Humans actually do not resist changes at all. For centuries together, people were riding horses, then cars came along, and those horses are gone. People are now driving cars. And I am confident that in 5-6 years, when we'll be sitting here together, we'll probably not be driving here. We'll probably have autonomous cars driving us, right? So we'll be able to adapt to all those changes. The biggest challenge that people face is not the technology, but to be not a part of that story. So one of the things that I feel leaders need to do is they need to just be great storytellers. They need to involve people to be a part of that journey. So if people are aware of what's happening, why are we doing that change, then I think it's a lot more smoother. And it probably, the end goal looks exactly how it used to look on the slide.
Great. I think, if I may summarize what you said, it's all about taking people along with that journey.
Yes.
Making them clear,
Yeah.
make them understand
Yeah.
why we are doing this,
Correct.
what's our end goal,
Yeah.
and taking them along in that journey. I think, as you rightly said, most dirtiest, situations will have the prettiest of the slide deck.
100%.
So it cannot be every strategy is super good till it meets the next Monday morning.
And until it meets the people who are getting impacted.
Exactly.
Right? And the reality is, if people are involved and people are a part of that journey,
Yeah.
then it becomes a lot easier. So, in fact, I always say sometimes to my team members that it's not so much about involving them to part a little bit of work also to them. It's actually because they feel like a
Yeah.
part of this entire journey.
Exactly.
Because when people feel a part of that transformation, like it's not something that is happening in a separate ivory tower,
Yeah.
then they do not resist it. Then, in fact, they become a part of that change.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Totally agree.
Yeah.
One more related question to this. I mean, we all talked about the human thing and, taking people along, when it comes to any of these transformations. How do you keep your teams motivated when the goalposts keep shifting?
And this happens so often. The goalpost does keep shifting.
For all of
right?
us.
For all of us. I think the best way is to actually not reward for reaching a milestone, but to actually celebrate the journey itself.
Okay.
Right? So, when we are in that process, let's celebrate the changes that we are going through. Right? Make them, not just the passengers, but actually put them in the driving seat. Right? Then it does not matter if the goalpost is here and then it moves, because we are not worried about the end milestone, right?
Yeah.
We are actually celebrating everything that's happening towards it. So I think it's easier said than done. But just involve people, and pass the responsibility, pass the baton. One of the difficult things that we probably leadership comes with is the fact that as you are growing in your leadership role, your impact is less and less visible. And the reason for that is because there are others who are shining. And that's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Right? And then if it's their journey, if it's their byproduct, then you don't have to worry if the goalpost is changing.
Yeah. I think, if you're able to celebrate that way, the journey itself, then, I'm sure that we talked about earlier, taking people along,
Yep.
that naturally happens.
Absolutely.
Because if we are waiting for a milestone
Yeah.
to be celebrated, we'll have difficult conversations, we'll have a lot of issues that would be coming in and day out. And by the time we actually wanted to celebrate, those people may not be there.
That's true. When you make them as a part of this journey, they are also prepared for the next steps.
Sadly.
Right? So to give you an example, when it comes to AI transformations, there are so many people who I talk to who feel like their job will be replaced. And I say, if you are a part of this transformation, you will become the stealth, right? The unbreakable.
Yeah.
Because then you've understood how this entire process works. So I think this would be my message to literally everyone who's feeling that an automation or an AI or anything that comes in the future, because I don't even know that, is that if you are controlling it, it cannot control you back.
So, Shrinik, we wanted to also touch upon the human part, though we subtly said about the human earlier. If you look at the automation that's happening within the enterprises, as automation expands, empathy becomes intelligence.
Yes.
How do you lead with humanity when data drives everything?
Now, I have a feeling that, I've spoken so much about the human aspect that probably, you understand where I'm coming from when I say that data is meaningless if we do not understand behind every data point is a human journey, right? We have to work with this big data, but how is this big data going to impact the larger humanity? If we keep that at the center of our decision making, It's going to change the way how we look at those data points, those KPIs, those beautiful graphs, and those beautiful charts. So the way I do certain things is I I don't just get myself pushed behind those logs of tables and datas. I try and understand what's the journey of a role or a human that is touching this data point. And if we can all try and live that bit, I think we can make decisions a lot more human.
Is it right to say that empathy is the new intelligence?
It absolutely is, right? I mean, AI can replace so many things for us, right? AI will definitely take over all the processes and the things that we are doing. It will not be able to take over empathy. That's our human touch.
Exactly.
Yeah. Our curiosity, that's our human touch, our imagination,
Yeah.
right?
I was reading article about what all industries or what all jobs will get replaced, and one of those thing was about the nursing and the care. You know, it again talks about the same story. I mean, like that care, the human care and
Yeah.
the empathy is something which no machine is not able to provide right now.
And I must say, if I am at an hospital, I am happy that a robot brings me the machines. But I like the way when a nurse actually tells me it's not going to pain,
Yeah.
right? So I think I'm actually an advocate of technology doing everything, right? But I would like to listen to a human when somebody says it's going to be all right.
Yeah.
Right? I don't want to trust a robot to say that to me.
At least, just to get that feeler.
100%.
Great. So, if you move on, if you mentor, we'll talk a little bit about the mentoring part of it. If mentoring next gen CIOs, what traits would you emphasize? Not to survive tech, but to transcend it.
This is so interesting because I've always said CIOs are too fascinated with technology. We just we've actually come across a long way, right? Think about it. Maybe 10 years back, technology leaders or CIOs was about digitizing paper. Then it went to digitizing processes. Today, decision making can be done with machines. So when it comes to what is going to be that one element which will stay with us for the long aspect is the human intelligence, the curiosity, right? Can we actually still do it differently, right? That human nerve of a little bit of our relationships, our empathy, right? And imagination. So what will happen great is you will have these great ideas, data points, but how do you take it to the next level? That's your imagination. And that imagination will be built over years and years of experience, probably, right? So that is where I still feel that our leaders will be still extremely relevant, and they have to keep evolving into this aspect.
I think very well said. The future leaders, I think they are going to be not just people who manages everything. Okay, if you're talking about tech leaders, they will not just manage systems or the processes. They will nurture souls.
100%.
And this is something which is going to be, again, very, very critical for a leader to be a true leader.
Yeah. I read somewhere that we are in the last era of leaders who only manage humans.
Exactly.
Right. And I think we'll probably still be alive around a time when our teammates will be both AI as well as humans. So how do you bring them both together, right? How do you responsibly say this is a job of a human, this is a job of an AI, and how do you interconnect it? I think those are going to be the pieces. I think that's exactly also what you meant.
Exactly. I think that bridge or bridging that gap between all three is going to be, the future, and that's what everyone is looking forward. Imagine 2030. I know that's Srinik. It is just 5 more years ahead.
Yeah. Not too long, not too far away.
Not too long, not too far, but AI being there, looks like it will just fly. AI sits at this table. Data is self-aware.
Hmm.
What makes a leader irreplaceable in that world?
Ah, yeah. AI is, I think AI is already at the decision table, right? What is going to be uh, making our leaders irreplaceable is to make sure the fact that we care, right? Is to make sure that we continue to use our imagination. So AI will tell us everything that's probable, and then let then human leaders try and see what's possible. So bridging that gap of machine intelligence and human imagination, I think when we put this together, and that power is what is going to be the biggest strength for leaders in the coming years, along with empathy, along with building relationships, caring for people. And I think it's a great time, to be honest, right? I think people are sometimes scared. I think just embrace it, because what's really being done by AI is it's actually changing the way how humanity is going to be, right? I mean, we will get freed up from all regular, non meaningful tasks. So, what is that we now do with our time is going to be a benchmark. I would say, I personally would invest it into being more imaginable, setting up new visions, and definitely building up more relationships. Sometimes with machines too.
That's very well put through. I think it's all about building a harmony with machines and humans.
Yes.
I think there is no better way than that to lead the world, in the coming years.
Correct.
And you very well summarized it, Srinik. I think empathy, for no matter, it's going to be absolutely essential for any leader to carry. Courage is one another aspect which you said, which is very important
Yeah.
for any leader to lead with courage. And also the trust aspect.
Yeah.
I mean, you can automate anything, but you cannot automate trust.
Yeah.
You need to build it.
Correct.
Thank you so much, Srinik, for today's session. That was such an inspiring conversation, and I'm sure that everyone has got a lot of takeaways from today's wonderful podcast on this topic of leadership in the era of convergence. And thank you everyone for tuning in. Until next time, keep leading with clarity, conscience, and conviction, because those are the only codes that's never going to be obsolete. So this is Jay and Srinik signing off from Digital Dunes. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Jay, for having me here.